Hey, my name's Jake Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk mortgage approvals. This is a big thing that we've got to look at when we're looking at how volatile the property market is. This will also give us an insight into where we think house prices might end up. Because you see, if mortgage approvals shrink drastically because people can't get approved because interest rates are higher, because affordability is struggling, that's a surefire sign that house prices are likely to drop very, very soon. So in this video, I'm going to give you what's the latest mortgage approval data, what impact that could have on the property market, and much, much more. Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We've got all the latest property news every single day. We talk house prices, we talk interest rates, we talk property investing, and much, much more. And let's get some views on this video because we want people to know what's going on in the market. And your part is really simple. All you need to do is smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that has helped the channel grow fantastically. So thanks to everyone that does that. So, mortgage approvals. There's a few bits of data that we talk about on this channel, and I think they're important because they allow you to make a real understand what's happening in the market, and so you can decide where you feel the market is going. So we talk about the Halifax house price data. That's up this month, 0.3%. We talk about the nationwide house price data. That's down 0.1%. We also talk about the Office of National Statistics. That's the data from the land registry, the real data. But some bits of data allow us to form opinions. And so two bits of data that we look at are, one is asking prices. So Rightmove give us the asking price data. And I've run this channel now for nearly 4 years. And every time I talked about that, when it was going up, the market was going up, everyone would always say, asking price data is irrelevant. But when they started coming down, suddenly those same people said, oh, this shows the market is going to crash. And so over the last few months, asking prices have been dropping. That doesn't mean sold prices are down yet, because when the asking price drops, it means someone then can go and view the property and make an offer. They might even offer less than that asking price, but it still takes 5 or 6 months until that house is sold, and we see that in the data. Another part of the data which we're talking about today is mortgage approvals. Now, this is important because it shows us how many people want to buy a property and they're in the market right now looking actively. So we get some data like that from Rightmove as well. How many people are actively viewing properties and stuff like that. But you can view a property with no commitment. But mortgage approvals is something different, isn't it? Because if you go through the process of getting approved for a mortgage, you're serious about buying a property because it's expensive. It could cost you 500 quid with a mortgage broker, and you have to give so much data. I'm constantly doing this, giving bank statements, giving my self-assessment tax returns, giving my portfolio details to the broker. I'm always having to update this stuff. So I don't do it unless I'm serious about getting a mortgage. And these numbers are up. So June data is what we've just had here. And in June, 65,400 people had a mortgage approved, which is up by 800. So that's moving in the right direction. So those people are now in the market, they're viewing properties, and they can buy a property because they've been approved for a mortgage. And that's the important thing. They're not just a time waster or a tire kicker. This is what estate agents wants to come through the door. Now, this shows that the market does have some robustness in it. It's not collapsing at the moment. So we do the data. We've said nationwide have said house prices are down 0.1%. Halifax have said they're up 0.3%. So the market is still fairly flat. But what we can see is there's still people coming into the market. And that's what needs to happen to get some momentum. Now, these numbers of approvals are the same as around March last year. So it's dipped since March last year, and it's gradually getting back. Now, this isn't going to send the market on a tear, but what it is going to do is stop the property market collapsing. So why are these people suddenly getting approved, and why have they decided to get in the market? Let's talk about that. So one is, remember, this is June's data, and around that time, rates were dropping. So the Bank of England was dropping rates, but that doesn't really impact you. Well, it does a little bit, but you want the mortgage rate to drop, and the market was slowing down as it did last year. And so lenders started cutting rates to everybody. We got some rates under 4% then. We've still got rates under 4%. And that's kind of like a magic number psychologically for people. They're like, right, if rates drop below that, I'll start viewing properties and start taking this seriously. And that's done that. And those headlines that you're seeing when people are reading the newspapers or reading stuff on social media or watching a channel like mine where it says rates have dropped, that gets some people to nudge their partner and say, let's go and look at some properties now, because it is a buyer's market. You can get good deals out there. And the other thing that's the main thing here is the affordability. So when rates were sitting high you had the rates sitting at 6.5% under Liz Truss, affordability just wasn't there, was it? You couldn't afford a lot of people a property at that time. So they weren't viewing properties. The market came to a halt. And because we're under 4%, that's the best deals you can get if you've got a decent deposit. That means people are looking seriously and saying, you know what, it might be a stretch, but I can afford a property. I want a property. And there's some pent up demand there, because for a year or so, people just weren't moving. We had stamp duty was lower, that did get some people moving, but then that stopped. And so to get the market going again, it needed rate cuts. And that happened with mortgage lenders doing it and the Bank of England doing a little bit towards that as well. And that's got that pent up demand moving again. Now, does this continue? I don't know. You don't know. We'll have to see what happens. The point is that people have the belief now that the mortgage rates are going to carry on going. And so you will get some more people definitely apply and see what they can borrow. When they've got that number, whatever it is, 250 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand, 500 grand, now they can go shopping knowing what they can afford. A lot of people also believe that it is a buyer's market at the moment. So if they see something for 600 grand, I would realistically offer 525 or 550 for that property, because while a lot of sellers will say no, some will say yes, and that is where you can get a cracking deal in today's market. So this is good. We want people in the market, and that hopefully will keep some momentum going towards the rest of the year. What do you think about this? Let me know. Do you think mortgage approvals are going to continue to go up? Or do you think with an uncertain economy, that's going to start dropping? I'd like to know in the comments below. And last thing I want to share with you is the chance to grab the fundamentals of property investing. It's £20. Nearly 2,000 people have grabbed a copy of this over the last year or so. And in that program, we teach you everything that everyone else teaches you for thousands of pounds. How to buy property below market value, how to add value to property, how to cash flow that property best. If you want to buy a property to live in or buy a property to rent out as a landlord, it will teach you all the stuff that you need to do. There's more than 100 videos in there for £20. That's a one-time charge. It doesn't cost you any more money. And as it gets updated, you get all those updates as well. We'll teach you, should you service accommodation it? Should you HMO it? Should you use the buy, refurbish, refinance stuff? Should you buy it at an auction? All of that's covered for £20. Click in the description below. Click in the pinned comment and grab a copy of that while you're here. Before you go, smash that like button on the way out. Do subscribe and also check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.